President Trump is spending another day trying to both advocate for stricter gun laws and to clarify his positions on one of the most divisive subjects for both his supporters and critics. Not far from the White House, conservatives are being warned by the head of the gun lobby that gun rights opponents are using the Florida school massacre to go after their weapons. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts starts us off tonight with another day looking for answers. Good evening, John.
Brett, good evening to you. It was the second meeting that President Trump convened here at the White House on the Marjory Stoneman Douglas school shooting, meeting with state and local officials today to hear suggestions and float a few ideas of his own.
How we can make our schools safe.
President Trump billed these White House meetings as listening sessions, but on one issue, the president did far more talking than listening.
We have to harden our schools, not soften them up. A gun-free zone to a killer or somebody that wants to be a killer, that's like going in for the ice cream. That's like, here I am, take me.
Calling gun-free zones nonsense, President Trump pressed hard his idea to train and arm qualified teachers or school staff to stand as the front line against a school shooter.
So practically for free, you have now made the school into a hardened target. I think we need hardened sites. We need to let people know, you come into our schools, you're going to be dead, and it's going to be fast. And unless you do that, you're going to always have this problem.
While a handful of schools have already adopted the idea, getting the sort of widespread buy-in necessary to serve as a national deterrent will be a challenge for the White House.
So far, much of the reaction that we've seen to this idea has been negative. Does the president expect that he can get enough buy-in in order to send a signal to potential shooters out there that this is a hardened facility? You walk in the door, as he said a little while ago, you're not going to last very long.
We certainly think so. Look, there are a lot of individuals, leaders in Congress. The NRA has been supportive of this idea. A lot of other folks have been supportive of this idea.
President Trump insists his plan could put an end to school shootings, but it wasn't his only idea. Tweeting this morning, I will be strongly pushing comprehensive background checks with an emphasis on mental health, raise age to 21, and end sale of bump stocks. Raising the age to buy a rifle or shotgun puts President Trump at odds with the NRA, which fiercely opposes changes, in a statement saying passing a law that makes it illegal for a 20-year-old to purchase a shotgun for hunting or an adult single mother from purchasing the most effective self-defense rifle on the market punishes law-abiding citizens for the evil acts of criminals. And while the NRA says there's been no change in its position, President Trump believes they will work it out.
The NRA wants to do the right thing. I've spoken to them often in the last 2 days, and they want to do the right thing. They're going to do the right thing. I have no doubt about it.
The Douglas High School shooting has ignited passions in the political arena. At a CNN town hall last night, Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio was confronted by the father of a young woman killed at Douglas.
Your comments this week and those of our president have been pathetically weak.
On Capitol Hill, a group of Democrats sent a letter to Speaker Paul Ryan asking him to allow debate to repeal an NRA-backed amendment from 1996 that prohibits the CDC from doing research into gun violence. And the FBI also weighed in today, the acting deputy director responding to why the FBI failed to act on a January tip about the Douglas school shooter.
Now, let me be clear. There was a mistake made. We know that. But it is our job to make sure that we do everything in our power to ensure that does not happen again. I'm not making excuses because what happened was a tragedy, truly a tragedy.
President Trump also suggested today changing the language around active shooter drills at schools, saying that they should simply be called safety drills because young students participating in an active shooter drill could be traumatized simply by the language. Right?
John Roberts live in the North Lawn. John, thanks.